How did pterosaurs move? Well, obviously they could fly, and that's what we focus on. But if you were to consider birds today or bats, obviously they can move in other ways as well. Bats can climb, they can hang, birds can walk, birds can run, birds can wade, birds can swim. And so when we think about pterosaurs, then obviously what other forms of locomotion, worked into their lifestyle? Difficult thing is, if pterosaurs lived for 150 million years from the late Triassic into the Cretaceous period. Some had wingspans which were 10 inches long, and some had wingspans which were 30 feet long. Obviously, what might have been possible for one might have been different for another. Just like penguins move in a different way than eagles move versus an ostrich, for example. So just in general, could pterosaurs climb and hang? Answer is yes, they probably would have been good at that. They could have climbed up cliffs or up trees. They could have hung. Could they wade in water? So the way that like a heron, might stand near water or wade in water to fish. Could pterosaurs do that? The answer is yes. They were probably good at that, and there is evidence that there might have been one group of smaller pterosaurs that was actually adapted to spend more time in the water. So maybe they, could swim on the surface. So yes, pterosaurs spent time near water. Actually, most pterosaur fossils are found near shallow seas. Could they walk over the ground? They certainly could using all fours. So on all fours, they certainly could. And there are trackways which support this. So clearly they could have used their arms with the wings folded up and use them as hands to crawl on. So they could walk on all fours. It might have been a bit ungainly, but they certainly could have. Could they stand or walk bipedally? Interesting. That is less certain. Many feel, after studying the body mechanics and aerodynamics, that many of the small ones certainly could, but that the larger ones, while they might have been able to stand on two legs, walking bipedally might not have worked out so well. It should be perhaps remembered that the pterosaurs evolved from a group of archosaurs, which gave rise to the early bipedal crocodiles, bipedal dinosaurs, and the closest relatives of pterosaurs were thought to be bipedal. So the early pterosaurs might have been capable not only of movement on land, but of bipedal locomotion on land.